Aloha hoku ohana. Thank you so much for joining me here for this very interesting message. And the reason it's interesting is because there are a lot of celestial light helpers that are, I'm hearing, being summoned during this time to, I'm hearing directly and gently guide you back inwards. I'm hearing to the recognition that they have always been encoded into your field, but you may just be becoming conscious of guides that have been assigned to assist you at this stage in your evolution journey. And honestly, this message being the lion's portal is very, very interesting because if you think about Leo energy and lion energy, it's very much to do with the sun. And what is the sun? The sun is to do with the soul, okay? And you seeing this existence through that lens. I'm hearing even through that archetype, which is a very royal energy, you know? It's a very empress, emperor archetype. And the emperor and empress don't seek external permission. They do not seek external acceptance or validation, for it compromises their integrity in the process. I'm hearing they hold their head up high with their shoulders back and they walk a path of integrity. If they need a witness to how far it is that they've come, they become a witness of their own. And there's something in you doing that. You are being perceived very differently during this time, and I do feel like it's because you're stepping into your power, dare I say. You are not just stepping into your power, but you're stepping into this embodiment, okay? And I'm going to talk about it. This is the energy that came through, right? So on the Lion's Gate, Eclipse. Now, Eclipse is a very interesting card because it talks about the shadow that's coming to the light, okay? And it talks about the sun and the moon, okay? These solar I'm hearing luminary essences, solar bodies. Okay, so these are celestial light sources. And this talks about one body covers the other totally or partially. And also, this isn't leading to the onset of eclipses. That's another energy that I've been receiving. And there's something that you're planting. Okay, this is important. There is something that you're planting in the background. There's something that you're planting during this time, and it's not for, I'm hearing, everyone's eyes to see or everyone's ears to hear or listen to during this time. I feel like you're doing something unannounced. There's an intention that you're planting. This could be plans that you're setting. I'm hearing into stone. This is something that is going to be unfolding. I do feel like it's something to do with the trajectory in your life, and a certain objective that your soul had for this incarnation that you're coming back into alignment with. But your silence is its own transmission. Trees do not announce their growth, you know? There is something around you witnessing the planting of the seed, and not all progress is visible right now. Okay, this is important. Not all progress is visible right now. But when this comes to the light, it is going to be a microphone drop moment because you're not doing this announced. You're not announcing this. Now, and you're being advised not to, by the way. We're going to talk about this. It talks about, simply said, something or someone would be obstructing your light, either totally or partially. But as a result of your questioning, we know that you are not able to shine at your brightest. An eclipse is temporary, fortunately. Concealment of a celestial body by the interposition of another. Let's check who or what is blocking our light to be able to return to a place where we can totally be visible and shine bright like a diamond. So long ago, the Mayans eclipses a conflict between the sun and the moon. They dedicated rituals to solve the problem. Astronomically speaking, it's where one body blocks another, but that's incorrect. It talks about, in this card, a person or thing dulling another or appearing more important. And there could be something around, I don't know if it's someone or even the shadow aspect of yourself. If it's not anything to do with that externally, there's just something around not giving into fear or planting a seed or intention that you have for yourself based off of the fear of lack or not having or the absence of something. There's something about planting a seed that you desire and knowing that desire in this realm is something that transpires from the illusion of not having, from the illusion of separation. And there is something about you're planting a seed of your own becoming, and the becoming is inevitable, right? And this is under the right environmental conditions on Gaia. The conditions I'm hearing are in your favor for this thing to grow, and this could even just be you, right, being seeded onto this planet, for you to grow and blossom in such profound ways, and it does not wait for an invitation to do so. Okay, I'm hearing it waits for universal alignment. And the other card was Aurora Polaris. Aurora Polaris talks about etheric growth, also your plasma origins, right? It talks about basically an Aurora Polaris is a cosmic event, right? It's something that is show stopping. It is something that is magical, right? It's almost like that magic that you're attuned to, the magic that you get to witness in your own life. And with the eclipse, there's something around you blocking your own magic or the fearful voice. I'm hearing blocking even others being able to witness your own magic in some way. There is a very strong energy in regards to that. So I don't know what the block is. It could be internal, it could be external. If it is external, it's probably an invitation to turn inwards and see where no one is really ever stopping you or getting in your way. Unless you allow them. Especially because there's a lot of energy that came through here, right? So, first of all, attachment reverse. Attachment reverse basically talks about detaching from certain constructs, certain narratives, certain stories that you've told yourself. And that's going to be the very key to your liberation. The key to your liberation is becoming greater than your fear, okay? And you have stars in the sky, limitless possibilities, which talks about you summoning a bunch of celestial light helpers during this time that are assisting you when it comes to this cosmic alignment, and you ought not act surprised when this does come to fruition, because it will inevitably do so. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty basically talks about you possibly telling your plans prematurely. And they're showing me pregnancy right now. So, the Empress, she is extremely fertile. And I feel like this is you, right? This is about, again, the Empress energy. So we're talking about Leo, we're talking about royalty. There's something that you're pregnant with. It could be the conception of an idea, an enterprise, a business, some kind of new beginning though, because you have three freaking aces in this reading. And there could have been something around you telling people something before it's time, once before, and things were easily dismissed or was kind of like brushed off, or I'm hearing discredited, or that's where your kind of emotional state became disrupted from an external opinion. um that's almost what's coming through, or seeking external validation to do this thing. This is not something that you need to announce. The announcement is in the embodiment itself. Your The best way to show it is to do it. Okay, it's like Dodo in Alice in the Wonderland, or Dodo says the best way to show it is to do it. And there is something that you're being called to do so, right? Now, Overflow, Overwhelm, and Plenty talks about there in a plethora of experiences and timelines that are opening up for you. And it's because you're opening yourself up in new ways. And it just feels like a very, with the pregnancy in the early stages, it just feels like a very, I don't want to say vulnerable time, but it feels like, yeah, there is like a bridge of vulnerability that you're crossing. And it's the only way that you're going to, enter into this new timeline, if you will. And there's almost an essence of, it's a very sensitive time. It's a very delicate time, I would say, just energetically speaking. And Overwhelm and Plenty talks about, there is almost like this buffet and selection of choices that you have. The one warning with this card, though, is to avoid choosing the same thing again and again if it leaves you feeling hungry for more. And this is saying that you're seeking for external validation, acceptance is not going to benefit you during this time. Okay? And Dragon's Hoard is about protecting a legacy that was born since the beginning of time. It was like born with you in the day that you were seeded onto this planet. So this is something that you're doing that transcends personal gain. I don't feel like everyone is designed to understand an intention that you had designed for yourself. And I feel like you're seeing that clearly, and it's leading to a huge rebirth, right? We have Ace of Pentacles, which talks about a new beginning, right? And also a slate being wiped clean. I feel like fundamentally, this is just a complete new way of doing things. This is about the foundation that's being laid out, certain things are even being uprooted so that the seed can be placed inside of an environment where it can really grow and flourish. And it's being supported, okay, fully. It's being supported and protected mainly through your awareness. And then you have Ace of Wands. So there is something about acting, I'm hearing, or striking while the iron is hot. Okay. I feel like this is something that you're kind of being called to not even necessarily get amped up about, but there is a level of just alignment in the physical where your silence really is its own transmission. Because I'm seeing someone just go out and do things and have certain activations, and they're like, so there's some people that like don't get it, and they're like, what? Why are you doing that? Da 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 da, and it turns into like, wait, how did you do that? Um, there's something around the magic will speak for itself, just in the way that your life is about to unfold and unravel, simply based upon a stronger connection that you have right now to the etheric, the spiritual, and the non-physical realm. And that's becoming greater than the physical in some way. It's like the veil between worlds is really, really thinning for you. And there's a sacred passage. And I'm hearing timeline in which you're crossing into. This could be about a sacred journey, right? Even just back to yourself. And then you have the Three of Wands, which is literally about that in between timelines energy. Okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I had notes on this, but we'll just leave it for now. There's like a sacred passage or crossing, okay? And it feels like, again, you're crossing into a new timeline now. The energy around you, and this is what it is that you're being advised, is to manifest like a King of Cups. A King of Cups, his internal state is not governed by his external factors. He's in a complete state of neutrality. Yeah, he's good, right? He's got his sound bowl there. He's chilling by the beach, right? Like, he is a character that has mastered his emotions, and because of that he's mastered his discernment, okay, because his emotional state is not something that clouds his intuition. It's not something that clouds him being able to perceive this existence from the lens of the soul. And the way that he moves through this construct is in complete harmony with himself and what it is that he's aligned with. Therefore, he finds harmony with everything externally, despite if it's in harmony with him. He knows it's more of a projection of where others may be out of harmony or alignment with their soul's initial intentions. Okay. And you serve as like some kind of reflection or mirror of that fact and that truth. And it kind of interrupts the comfort zone and reminds, okay, it's like you serve as a reminder, a checkpoint of some kind. Okay, that's what you serve as. And what he does as well is a Four of Pentacles. He keeps something to himself. Okay, so again, this could be some kind of new foundation for your life that you're laying out. Do not announce this, not before it's time. You're just being told to keep something for yourself. Okay, maybe it's like celebrate this for yourself before I feel like the world gets in on it. I feel like this is for your eyes only as of right now. and for your ears only as of right now. Because it feels like once this is revealed, like that's it, like that's it. The word spreads like wildfire. I'm hearing your growth spreads like wildfire. So there's something about this growth that happens initially is not for all to see. And I feel like this is you growing into new versions of yourself. I'm hearing it's even outgrowing certain versions of yourself too. And then you have the Ace of Swords. So this is like a boom. When you do speak, there is no doubt in anyone's mind of the power that you have unleashed, because it's not that you're saying, I'm thinking about doing this thing or I'm considering this. It's like, no, oh no, I'm doing this. The flight is booked. I'm doing this. I've bought the house. I'm moving to this location. Uh, no, I'm doing this. Like I've already gone to the interview. Like I have this thing in the bag. There's that kind of energy. It's like it's you're not asking for permission, and that's the kind of royalty. And this is something that's being seeded on 8-8 for you, okay? And if you think about 8, it just in general, it actually has like a scorpionic energy to it. So it's almost like this is something that is happening behind the scenes. There is a level of like internal transformation, internal alchemy, internal growth that happens, and something that happens in the shadows is inevitably going to be brought to the light. And the Ace of Swords is like you gain the clarity that you need, you gain the confirmation that you need, right? There is a certain stage or phase that you will go through, and it feels like growth like a bamboo, right? Bamboo roots grow underneath the ground for like 3 years before they even ever come to the surface. And when they do, those shoots grow and they grow overnight. That's what it feels like. It feels like, when seeds germinate, that doesn't happen when everyone's there watching it. They germinate in a place where no one's eyes can see, right? It's in the darkness. It's happening behind the scenes. It's happening underneath the veil. It's happening in a way where it may be, I'm hearing, in front of others' eyes, but no one can see it, right? It's like, when something's hidden in plain sight? Yeah, this is you, or whatever it is that you're doing. There is something that's hidden in plain sight. When the pregnancy is in early stages of development, right? No one really knows that the woman is pregnant. No one really knows. That's what it feels like. Until the signs start showing, and they inevitably will in very physical ways. That's what it feels like we're going through. And it feels like by the eclipse, something is going to be coming to light for you. By these eclipses in September 7th is the first one. It feels like this obstruction of your light, yeah, you're going to be shining brighter than a diamond. And there's many facets to you, but there's like a facet or dimension that you're working on behind the scenes that's going to be brought up for the world to see. So that's what this is. Like, there's something mysterious going on. So yeah, I feel like you're a walking mystery, right? How you do this is going to be a walking mystery. But this is 3 aces, it's 3 new beginnings. And at the foundation of the deck was the Ace of Cups. So I feel like this is something that it's an ace that you're keeping close to your heart. It's an ace that's hidden. It's supposed to be that way for now. Yeah. You don't need to announce your growth. It's something that's about to be witnessed. I feel like keep this for yourself right now. It's almost like it feels like you and your guides, right? And even me, like I'm getting like a little peek into it, has something going on behind the scenes. It's like when a couple finds out that, they are pregnant, then there's almost like a level of, I'm hearing it's kind of like a honeymoon period, but reverse. There's a level of like, this is sacred, this is just for us before we go announcing this. That's what it feels like. So I feel like, then I think there's something about like trimesters of growth that you'll go through, but I believe it's not until, maybe like 12 weeks or something, or 3 months, that so there could be something that's about to start showing in the next 3 months for you in a way that others are going to start asking questions. You know, it's like, I do feel like this is something that you ever announce. It's just something that's kind of on display. It's something that, oh, something's changed around you. Oh, you're glowing. Oh, you know, what have you been doing? You know, it's those kind of energies. There's something about you're going to be asked like a lot of questions around this time. Yeah. It does remind me of stages of growth. Even if you go through like a recomp, you know, it's like first you feel stronger, then you feel, you know, more equipped, then you get into a routine, then it just becomes a part of who you are. And then it's like, then there's visible signs that start to show. And then around, you know, 12 weeks as well, actually, is the moment where it's like others start asking questions. You know, there's something about the way that you carry yourself. There's something about the embodiment. We're talking about first house energy. That is very clear. You know, that's where other people start to notice. And there's something around that period for you. So whatever it is you're planting now, I'm predicting 12 weeks from now, everything changes. 12 weeks from the Lion's Gate portal, after this onset of eclipses. I don't know what you're doing, where you're going. I'm hearing what direction your life is heading in. But there's going to be very visible changes that happen. I'm hearing not just on you, but around you. So prepare that nursery in silence, you know, within the realms of your own home. You know, stop picking those names, whatever it is. Yeah, that's what this is. But there's almost like a maternal instinct where on a soul level, you want to be able to protect this thing. Okay, so I'm going to love any of you right there, alright? If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. And, yeah. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Also, check out Auto Spirit's discount code if you are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. We have a hookup down there. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards Author Sanctuaries, and they have a plethora and variety of options to choose from individual gemstones to zodiac packs to chakra collections. They have it all. So I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Until next time, bye.